Hours after a guy was shot and killed inside his Cape Coral home in this neighborhood. The deadly incident turned what's considered a normally quiet neighborhood into a pretty big crime scene yesterday. Police saying 39-year-old David Johnson was gunned down inside a home on Northeast 23rd Terrace, not too far from Kismet Parkway. And this is marking the 5th homicide in Cape Coral this year. This is the highest now since 2008. So what's driving this increase in homicides, and should you be concerned about your safety? 4 in your corners, Deborah Souverain, live in Cape Coral right now, working to get you some answers. Deborah?
Patrick, Cape Coral Police hasn't released an update on yesterday's murder investigation, but as you mentioned, that was the 5th one so far this year, making up 5 more than what we saw last year. And even when these crimes don't affect us personally, a realtor I spoke to said it could affect your wallet in the long run. When realtor Frank Earhart moved his family to Cape Coral 6 years ago, he joined Cape Realty, Inc., and the low crime rate made selling homes a breeze.
In a safer area, values will definitely be higher than an area that's not as safe.
But since then, Cape Coral has grown, and so has its murder rate. So far, this year has been the deadliest when it comes to homicides since 2008.
From a realtor's perspective, it definitely makes me nervous. This has always been what we thought a very safe area. So when that happened, it certainly brought some concerns for us.
Those concerns increased again yesterday when Cape Police investigated its 5th homicide this year. Compare that to 0 deadly crimes last year. Cape's deadliest homicide case this year began at the apartment complex behind me, where a man threatened his neighbor at gunpoint, then went on to kill 2 others in a shooting spree. But how do cases like this affect you? Earhart says it affects you because random violence near your home could hurt its value or your ability to sell.
I think if it continues to happen and we see that trend happening throughout the rest of 2016 and certainly as we get into 2017, if that trend continues, absolutely.
Despite the increase in murders this year, Cape's housing market is strong, according to Earhart. And even though Cape Coral may not be as calm as it was 6 years ago, Earhart remains optimistic.
Hopefully these are kind of one-offs and that this will go back to 2017 being a very, very slow year in that category.
And I'd like to note that of the 5 cases that happened, the murder cases that happened this year, only 1 remains open. And that case that we saw yesterday is still active, as we know, so no new information has come out about that. But police say the community is not at risk. They believe that was an isolated incident. Reporting in Cape Coral, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you.